a Bally 8-ball Deluxe MPU Solenoid regulator board and the Squawk and Talk board. And the MPU had some alkaline corrosion on the bottom of it, which is fairly typical. And I don't really see many of these because people generally replace them with an Altec or the new one from Weebly. And those are both great boards. Sometimes folks want to stay with the stock boards, and this one wasn't too bad to repair. It was mostly abating or sanding down to bare copper on the bottom. There are a couple of components I had to replace. I did the headers all the way around, cleaned up some of these jumpers here. They were a little janky, and installed NVRAM and a new 5101 socket. The rest of the sockets were fine. They were the RN version, which... sorry, I lost my train of thought. Oh, they're way better than the Alget or certainly the Scanby sockets there. On the regulator and solenoid drive boards here, we have replaced the big filter cap up top for display power, the trim pot for display power, the 5-volt filter cap, and we had a little issue with Q4 and Q7. Q4 was shorted on and Q7 was in-op, so I have fixed that. Headers all the way around on this board also. Squawk and Talk, headers all the way around, which means there's 2 of them. A new cap kit. Always have to replace the socket for the AD558. For whatever reason, that 16-pin socket that Bally originally used was just really bad. And then I had a little hum in the board, so I tried to fix that by replacing the socket on a TMS 5200, which is always a bit dicey because those chips, there's some kind of dissimilar metal thing going on with them, and the legs sort of rot off. Now, this one wasn't too bad, and I cleaned it up with a fiberglass pencil and did replace the socket. Also replaced the trim pots, and if I didn't mention it, a cap kit all the way around. So let's boot it up. We're going to focus on this LED, and it's going to flicker once and then blink 7 times. That was the first blink. 2. So that's a normal boot, and that is normally what the Squawk and Talk says when you boot 8-ball Deluxe. I have some Pinatech Uno displays connected. Very nice. I can't say enough good things about them. The display power is set for 175 volts. The regulator is delivering 5.25, let's call it. That is typical for a Bally regulator. I'm going to ground pin 1 on J3, and that is the same as pressing the coin door switch. And we'll go into display test after I do it the second time. And you can see those are all working as they should. They don't show up on the video as crisply as they are in real life, but they're nice, I can tell you. So I'm going to try to get in the picture both the red LEDs in the lower right and the displays, and this is going to be Solenoid Test. And that was through a whole sequence of them, so you can see that those all operated correctly. That's the sound test. And the next test is switch test, which, gosh darn it, I don't have a switch tester connected here. Let's see if I can connect one. I've got about 4 of these Pinatech testers, and this is the only one that I haven't modified the connector on to make it a little easier to operate. Let's see if I did that right. Apparently I didn't. And we're back, and I have this test device connected correctly. So let's go through row 1. You get the extra benefit of hearing the Squawk and Talk board declare the switch number. And there are 40 switches in the Bally switch matrix, so that is the conclusion of switch testing. And the next sequence is the audits. So I'm not going to go through all those. I'm just going to reboot the game. And it's a good opportunity to show you all what the Squawk and Talk LED does.
Ball Deluxe, 5-ball.
And we are back in business. So thank you, JT, for sending it and your patience as I work through this one. And we will be getting it back to you as soon as possible.